accelerating the asteroid fields. The Guardian swords, they counter-strike, walls tremble underfoot. Battle cries ring across endless void. Red, blue, they flash, pulsar star. Electric skies burn bright. Armored titans in mechanical wars. Electric skies burn bright. Armored titans in mechanical wars. Small-scale scorpion killing machine stalks on the central mountain range unseen. The white carapace laser steam cruel thespian seeks hellish blood for its fuel. Stepping Xenobus combat solid unleashed. Thespian's hunt for hellish swords will not cease. With its blue visor sights and sharp steel claws, robotic scorpion will end the wars. Scurry with speed and purpose, Thespian. Root out a hell, expose oblivion. Show them you're the Xenobus ruffian. With whirring gears, your might is protean. The Xenobus Empire has this task for you. Don't stop till the Republic army is through. Crush and blast the battle rovers apart. Then the Neptune Zoids as well for a start. For a start. This war must be won for the Zenith Pass. Destroy the Hellish force till they are but glass. Support the Death Armor in its final push. Search every last rock, stone, cable, and bush. Scurry with speed and purpose, Thespian. Root out a hell, expose oblivion. Show them you're the Xenobus ruffian. With whirring gears, your might is protean. Now the hellish scum, the Titan Zoid. The Triceratops mass thunder we must destroy. Attack without fear with your laser sting. No death, be it scorpion conquest bring. Thespian. Root out our hell, expose oblivion. Show them you're the Xenobus ruffian. With whirring gears, your might is protean. Scurry with speed and purpose, Thespian. Root out our hell, expose oblivion. Show them you're the Xenobus ruffian. With whirring gears, your might is protean.